So good morning, everyone. This is Angie at Chicken Scratch. It is October 2nd, Wednesday morning. Before I show you the trimmer, I'm going to go ahead and do the housekeeping things. Stampin' Anonymous tutorials, free with any size order this month. Chick Candy 43 has been posted on my website. All you have to do is leave a comment over there on my blog to enter to win. So today we are using the Elfie stamp set with the stitched rectangle dies. Okay, so we're gonna go through the supplies here. Pool Party cardstock, 8.5 by 5.5. Another piece that measures, where's my notes? 9 3/8 by 1.5. I've got two pieces of Whisper White that measure 5 1/4 by 4. And then I've got silver foil that measures 4.5 by 3, and then another scrap for a 1 1/8 circle. And then I have 3 pieces of the Feels Like Frost Designer Series paper, and these two measure 1 7/8 by 5 1/4, and this one measures 4 by 1 1/4. We'll start with the card base, of course. So I'm going to use the new trimmer to do my scoring. Although you guys know I use my Simply Scored scoring tool. So I'm going to place this on here, and I want to use my light gray, and I'm going to score this at 2 1/8. And I'm going to do that on both sides. Is that right? Yep, 2 1/8. So 2 1/8, and then turn it and score it 2 1/8. Okay, and then I'm going to take the belly band and I'm going to score it at 2 1/2. And then turn it and do it on the other side at 2 1/2. Okay, so what I'm going to do today is I'm going to start a waiting list for the new trimmer. So that way, if you want me to send you an email, the minute I find out it's going to be available for customers, I will email you. So after I'm done with the live video, I will put a sign-up box for you guys so that I can email you. Kind of like we did with the trimmer blades last time. Okay, so folded. Now, we're going to take the inside of our card and stamp with Memento ink. I love this stamp set so much. Oh my gosh, it's just so stinking cute. Isn't that font so beautiful? I wish I could write like that. Oh, and I just got ink on it. Now, we're going to take our liquid glue and add this layer to the inside of our card. David is out of town right now, so as soon as I'm done with this video, I am going upstairs to finish cutting and packing the Spooktacular Bash class packet. And then what else? What else have I got going on? Something else. That idea, that thought just went right out the window. Oh well. Okay, now we're going to take the Feels Like Frost Designer Series paper, and I did cut this so that it lines up. So this piece panel here will go on the left side, this one will go on the right, and then this one will go on the belly band. But we're going to take a sponge and the Pool Party ink pad, and we're going to sponge some color on those. I'm back. So for those of you that ask about this, it's called the sand eraser. Yeah, I got it on Amazon. Actually, I didn't. I had a couple people, lovely people, that sent me one. Like 2 or 3 people. So I have one here, one over there. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. So it erases the ink. So I am back now. Sorry about that. So I'm taking Pool Party ink with a sponge, and I'm just going to go in a circular motion and add a little bit of color to this. Well, goodness. I don't like to, I got to fix my paper here. I've about mutilated it here. I don't like to put my phone on Do Not Disturb. For the simple fact that accidents happen a lot in our family. And for example, last night Brooke fell. She was looking at her phone when she was walking out of school, and she tripped and hurt her ankle. So I'm not sure if she's going to have to go to the doctor or not. We're still debating that. So that's why I don't mute my phone. Okay, so now same thing on this one. I do that every time. You could actually sponge this ink on before you cut it. I'm just straightening out those little creases I accidentally added. And you can use the sponge daubers too, but the sponge daubers actually add a lot of ink. Like it's really bold when you use the sponge daubers, whereas the sponge, it's a little lighter. Okay, so now let's get our card over here and line it up. So which side? Yeah, okay, so this goes on the left, so we'll do that one first. I'm going to grab the Halloween version when we're done with this one so you guys can see the difference. Okay, so there's that part. Now let's add the belly band. So this is going to go on just like that. And let's see. Yeah, so I'm going to put my liquid glue just in a thin line right here. Just remember, don't put the belly band on too thick, because if you do, then you won't be able to slide it back off of your card. Ruh-roh. I should remember to hold that right. Okay, we'll stand here and hold this for just a second. I love this paper. Now you can see why it actually went on back order for a little while. I think it's back in stock though. Yeah. The last time I checked, it was in stock. I did not check today. I should have. Whoops, come back here. Okay, now we're going to take the smaller piece of the Feels Like Frost paper. And this paper is two-sided, so if you don't like the shiny side, you can always use the other side. Okay, there's that part. Now, we're going to stamp our image with Memento ink. So I think this is my third Elfie project. So I like using the same stamp set so you guys can get the best bang for your buck if you order it. How could you not order it though, right? Okay, now I'm going to turn this and stamp the Just For You over here in the corner. Okay, we're going to cut that out with the 1-inch circle punch. We'll set that aside. So we're going to take those stitched rectangle dies, and we're going to cut out the silver foil with the larger one, and then we're going to cut out this guy with the smaller one. So I'm going to move everything over and get the big shot real quick. Okay, so we'll do the image first. And I hope I get this straight. Yesterday I cut out the Halloween greeting so crooked, but it's okay for Halloween. Okay, there's that one. Now we're going to do the foil. I'm going to hide my face. Last week when I filmed a video, I could see my face in the reflection of something. That day I had my hair down. It was clean and everything. I may or may not have had makeup on. Today, I look rough. I haven't recovered from the road trip yet. Okay, so there he is. So cute. And then here's the foil. We'll keep that upside down. You could always save this for something later. Okay, we're going to color now. So I am using 3 markers. The Pool Party Combo and the Light Smoky Slate. And I'm going to be doing a lot of coloring. So if you guys need I'm just going to say, if you need a potty break, now's a good time. So I'm just going to take the dark Pool Party and just go along the edge of the areas in which I'm going to use Pool Party. Okay, I think that's good. We can always add more later if we want to. Now I'm going to take the light Pool Party So I'm coloring his jacket and his hat with Pool Party. And his slippers or shoes or booties also with the light Pool Party. And then I'm going to color the rest of the bow with the light Pool Party. Is that it? I think so. Oh, no. We got part of the ornament. Okay. Now we're going to take the light smoky slate and we're going to color the present. I forgot that part of the bow, so we got to come back with that light Pool Party in just a minute. Okay, we're going to color his pants. Oh, and I forgot a marker. That's the second time this week I've done that. Oh well. It's sitting here, I just forgot to mention it. So the ornament and his hair. Okay, let's get the light Pool Party back out and color this. Now what did I forget? Oh, his face. So we're also using the light petal pink for his ears and his hands and his face. Now we're going to take the holiday rhinestones. I don't know if you guys noticed these. I actually brought the catalog over here because I know so many people didn't notice these were in the catalog. I'm going to show you why. On page 58 of the holiday catalog, they're right down here in this corner. Yes, and they're beautiful colors. So, yeah, holiday I love rhinestones. So I'm going to take one of the larger Pool Party and I'm going to put it right up here over the little bell. And then I'm going to take two of the smaller ones and add it on his jacket or his coat or whatever you call that. Shirt. So stinking cute, right? You could just keep going on and on with these things. Like you could add them to these little pieces right here. You could add them on his slippers. But I'm not that generous with my rhinestones. But if you were making a special card for someone, then you could just bling it up a lot. Okay, now we want to take this layer and add it to our silver foil. So I'm going to turn it over and add liquid glue. Now I'm going to show y'all something I've never done before in just a minute. Okay, so make sure my face is not in the camera. Not that y'all would pass out or anything, but look how cute, right? Okay, so now we got this little piece right here to work on. So we're going to take that other piece of silver foil and we're going to cut out a 1 1/8 inch, 1 1/8 scallop circle. We're going to add this. I didn't want to add another rhinestone, so I needed something more for this. So what I decided to do, now this is a little tricky. I'm going to take one strand of the flax ribbon and I'm going to cut it to measure 10 inches just so that gives me enough to work with. And then I'm going to take the metallic thread. I have it on our old paper piercer on a chick stand. This just makes it a really nice spool. And I want to cut 3 pieces. I'm kind of making my own baker's twine that has metallic in it because we don't carry that anymore. So I'm going to take 3 strands of this silver. You can do the same thing with the Whisper White baker's twine if you want. I like using the flax ribbon because it's a little stronger. This metallic thread is so light, it's so thin that I struggle when it's just one piece. So now I have 3 strands of the metallic and 1 flax ribbon, and now I'm going to make myself a little bow. One of my Angie bows. Just don't put lotion on your hands before you do this. I did that this morning. Okay, so I'm just going to make the bow smaller, but you got to find all the strands to make them smaller. And since the thread is really, it's really light, so it can get twisted. Like I said, this is going to be one of those cards you give to a special person in your life. It takes a little bit longer to make. Owie. Who didn't see that one coming? Okay. I want my bows to be the same size, if you're wondering what I'm doing. So before I get it too tight, I'm just making sure that they're the same. Now I want to make it smaller. I feel like I'm doing surgery. Okay, I think that's good to go, right? So I'm going to trim the ends, and then I'm going to take my bone folder and curl it. kind of hard to see. So I'm going to get a glue dot. I'm just setting it on here so that you can see it. And then now I'm going to pick up a mini glue dot. And I'm going to wad it up because, of course, it's too big. And I'm going to place it right down here, like between the silver foil and the white. Oh, come back here. And then use your piercer or your take your pick tool and just kind of, you know, get it where you want it. Just a little white strand is almost like a baby hair. It has a mind of its own. We're going to see if we can fix it. Yes, I did. So cute, right? So we're going to actually place our dimensionals on the belly band. Okay, so one on this side and one on this side. You want to make sure you put your dimensionals on the belly band, because if you put them up here, then you're not going to be able to open the card, okay? So I'm going to take the backing off of the dimensionals and add our image. And then we're going to add this also with a dimensional. Right down here. Okay, so what do you think? So cute. Okay, so the belly band slides off, opens up just like that. I'm going to get the original one I made this morning. So there's that one. And then here's the one I made this morning. Not much different, right? They look the same. Okay, I'm going to grab the Halloween version so you guys can see that. So here was the Halloween version from last week. They're made exactly the same. Just I used rectangles here and ovals here. So let's open up this trimmer really quick. For those that are not anxious to see this, sorry, but this is like seriously. Now, as you can see, I'm just now opening it, so I don't have any experience with this thing yet, so I don't know what to do and what not to do, because I just got it. You guys are seeing me check it out. Okay, so let's open up the arm. Is there a special way to open up the arm? Nope. Okay, so pretty cool. I don't think there's anything to dislike. I like that there's that hole there. I don't know what it's for, but that will definitely allow you to hang it on your pegboard, for those of you that have pegboards. Okay, let's compare it with the other one. I like that it's not as shiny, because this thing always reflects in the lights. This is less shiny. The measurements at the top are all the same, except, no, they're all the same. Yeah, these might be a little more muted. These are a little brighter. Stampin' Up! Is up here, whereas on this one, it's down here. I have to tell you guys, this thing weighs a ton. This is very lightweight. So for those of us that struggle with our wrists and our arms and our shoulders, this thing is so lightweight. That's going to be really good. This one goes to 15 inches or 14 and a half. This one actually goes all the way to 17, I believe 17 and a half. So yay, bigger paper. Okay, any other questions? Is there a film on this thing? A protective film? Probably so. There is. So when you get your trimmer, you can remove the film. I can tell you this, on my last one, I didn't for a very long time. I didn't even realize it had a film on it. Or there were parts of it that I had not removed it. Okay, so there. I'm going to look for questions. Yeah, so this one has centimeters as well. I don't understand that one. We didn't learn it in the States, or I didn't. Maybe some people did. Yes, the big question has been, will it score and cut? Yes, just like the old one. This is the cutting blade, and this is the scoring blade. So let's go ahead and test the cutting process. So I got a piece of scrap paper, and I'm going to place it. Okay, I'm going to be a little snarky for a second. So this trimmer, I made a big deal about this last week and I got laughed at. So I'm going to say it again because I make a lot of boxes and bags, and all the measurements from the 6 inches to the 7 inches is kind of important to me, because when you're making a box or a bag and it tells you to score at 6 3/8, on the old trimmer you couldn't find 6 3/8. On this one you actually can see it. There's little tick marks on this gray section right here on this arm, okay? So I'm going to cut this to measure 6 3/8. Wow, that slides like butter. That's awesome. Okay, now let's cut one more piece just to see how it works. Very nice. Okay, now we'll score this piece. I'm going to move the cutting blade up, and then we're going to score this at 3 1/2. It scored. It didn't feel like it did, but it did. Yeah. Okay. What questions do you guys have for the new trimmer? I love how lightweight this thing is. Yeah. It's so much lighter. Questions. Does it have storage underneath? This one does not. And to be honest, I'm going to tell you, I'm actually glad that it doesn't, because I think that that's what made the last one super heavy. And yeah, it did have storage, but I never used it. Look, it still has my old business card, old Post-it notes, gum. That's funny. But I think that maybe that's what made it so heavy. The other difference on these trimmers is that this cutting track here, that's permanent. On this one, this thing would fall out on people. They would lose it. It would be turned in the wrong direction. So on our new trimmer, that piece does not come out anymore. It is permanent. Okay. Since we're using Pool Party today, I have this right on my desk. So I'm just going to cut this at 3 inches. It glides very easily. Crisp, clean cut. We'll do another one. 3 inches. Yeah, both edges. Looks nice. Cheaper. So this paper cutter is $25 plus tax and shipping, but that's a fantastic price. Absolutely. Yes, $25. So right now it's available to demonstrators. We don't know yet when it's going to be available for customers. They said to say first of the year. It depends really on how many demonstrators order it. So if not all the demonstrators order it, there may be a lot of inventory left. I'm actually telling my downline, get it, because, well, number one, it's so lightweight, and you can get replacement blades. Oh, does this part lock in place? You know, I don't see a lock on it, but I will say this. So look, it's not locked, and I'm turning it. There's not a technically, I don't see a locking mechanism on here, but let's look at the old one. So for this one, let's put this track back in here. So for this one, if you turn it over, the arm flops, right? You have to lock it so that the arm doesn't flop open, and the locking was here. For this one, there is no lock, but it doesn't flop open. Yeah. It's just a different arm. So yeah, it kind of sort of locks on its own. There's a little notch right there, and there's a notch here. So technically it kind of notches in that little spot. I love these questions. That's so awesome. You don't have to put a rubber band around it, because it does have that little notch there that holds it in place. And there's one on each end. Yeah. So it locks. It just doesn't lock the way the old one locked. Any questions before I sign off about the trimmer? And the video will be made available. So what are the measurements in the middle for? Well, I would assume that these measurements are like a lot of people use. Let me move it up so you can see it. There are a lot of demonstrators that actually use the bottom of the trimmer instead of the top of the trimmer. I actually wish that I could retrain myself because I have trouble with my shoulders. So I always extend all the way up here and bring it down, or I start at the bottom and go up. There are a lot of people that actually use their trimmer upside down, or they use it down here. So this just allows you to have those measurements down here. Now there could be another reason that I'm not aware of. I don't know. I just got this trimmer like, what, 40 minutes ago. I was live when it arrived, so I don't know. I think that's the ticket right there, is that it's just easier. It's so that it allows you to use the bottom. So I don't know if you guys always use the top part, but I would encourage you to use the bottom. Like when I have little pieces, I will use this bottom section here because it's right here in front of my face. Whereas up here, it's like, oh, I got to look all the way up there. You can look down here. The measurements are the same. And I love that over here on the right side, that goes, let's see, what is that measurement? So this is 1 1/8, 1 1/4, 1 3/8, and then 1 1/2. So this right side goes to 1 1/2. The last one went to 1 1/4. So yay, we got some more real estate there. Cool beans, right? Okay, so I'm going to sign off. I'm going to put the project back in here for just a second, just to recap the project that we made. So there's the two cards, my original, and this is the one that we just made. If you guys need anything, let me know, and have a great day. Thanks a lot.